Hi, Gerald Spradlin back, and I'm making the argument that our Department of Justice should indict, or could indict, at least investigate, because you have the power of subpoena, we don't. Dahua USA senior staff and some of the staff in general, for that matter. I think I make a reasonable argument here to our DOJ. Several of my customers agree with me. Take a look at some of the videos, some of the evidence we're going to give to you here. So, number one, Aventura Technologies. They falsely labeled product made in USA. They financially harmed competitors because, hey, made in USA, everybody else is made in China, gained a distinct edge. Take a look at the next couple of videos, including the official press release by the authorities, FBI, IRS, Border Patrol, when they publicly announced what they did to Aventura Technologies. Aventura Technologies at the time, by the way, were based near Long Island, New York. American crew. They had assets seized. They were criminally indicted, put in handcuffs, and dragged off to jail. I mean, it was pretty bad. But let's see if there's a lot of parallels here with Dahua USA. You let me know.
Today's charges demonstrate that we will partner with law enforcement agencies across the government to protect our technology supply chain from infiltration and compromise by foreign adversaries and those who would trade our national security for personal profit. Thank you. I will now turn the podium over to Assistant Director in Charge, Bill Sweeney of the FBI.
Falsely representing products as made in the USA is dangerous business when American servicemen and women around the globe, among others, are dependent upon the security of the technology supporting and surrounding them. Aventura's clients were deliberately deceived by the fake Made in the USA labels, which were added to the Chinese manufactured products, representing the products as manufactured here in this country. In reality, the only thing made in the United States were the lies Aventura sold to its victims. If there are any other vendors out there who are considering cutting corners like the Cabazos, today's announcement should serve as a warning to you. Your decisions have broader implications beyond your company's bottom line, and inappropriate decisions you make will likely result in similar consequences.
My name is Troy Miller. I'm the Director of Field Operations for Customs and Border Protection here in New York. U.S. Customs and Border Protection takes great pride in working with our federal, state, and local enforcement partners and industry stakeholders to fight cross-border trade in dangerous and illicit goods. This case serves as a great example of collaborative law enforcement efforts to uncover, dismantle criminal enterprises that seek to defraud the United States government for personal gain while jeopardizing our national defense and causing economic harm to their competitors.
Today's charges send a clear message. IRS criminal investigation and its law enforcement partners work tirelessly to expose con artists devising elaborate schemes that exploit our financial system for their personal gain. We are proud to be standing here today with our law enforcement partners, and we thank all of them for the work that they did in the Aventura investigation.
So Gerald back, and I want you to focus on that last 10-15 seconds of the border agent's comments, that falsely marking product as made in the USA does indeed create victims. Competitors are put out of business. And I know in our case, we lost millions and millions to some of this nonsense. So made in USA, imagine, because this is about Lorex, the Dahua and Lorex at that time. This is not about Dahua USA. I don't think they mingled with Lorex, but you can check that out. But anyway, so we discovered, everybody discovered, that Costco was on their shelves, Lorex products owned and manufactured by Dahua at that time, made in USA. And once called out on that problem, did Costco remove the items? No, No, did Dahua come in and remove the items and replace them with made in China, or at least relabel them as made in China? No. So imagine you're a business owner or you're a homeowner and you're at Costco and you're buying a kit. You got Lorex to choose from and they're made in USA, made in USA. And you've got all the other competitors at Costco trying to sell their goods via Costco, and they're made in China. Obviously, Lorex had an advantage perpetrated, well, by fraud. And they were owned by Dahua. They were manufactured by Dahua at that time. I don't know who owns Lorex right now. Thank you. Okay, Gerald Spradlin back, owner of Gen4 Technology, g4direct.com. Please go to g4direct.com/blog if you haven't done so, and download the court filing from A.G. Hilgers. So I'm going to close this video out. I gave you a little bit of evidence in there. It's very difficult to do in a short video. If you read it, the court filing, you'll understand this. So why, I'm going to finalize just bullet points here of why I want Dahua USA staff, the previous staff, and some of them are still with the new company. Obviously, they're still on the hook, if you ask me. I'm assuming that A.G. Hilgers and his staff of lawyers are correct, that they committed fraud, that they violated the Consumer Protection Act, the Deceptive Selling Practices Act, and Lorex, completely owned, manufactured by Dahua during the Made in USA scandal. Now, we talked about Aventura Technologies. Look, you saw the video. You saw the earlier part of this video. How serious that is. And I agree with the authorities, and I'm glad that they went as hard on Aventura Technologies as they did. I'm asking you to go as hard on Dahua USA staff as you went on Aventura Technology staff, because they both parallel in so many ways. In fact, I'd argue Dahua USA staff caused more damage than Aventura ever could have. Dahua USA is multiples larger than Aventura. I mean, multiples larger. And so I want to invoke the RICO Act request here. Sorry, got to go to my laptop real quick. Racketeer, Influenced, and Corrupt Organizations Act. As prosecutors know, this is Google AI that I'm referring to. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not giving legal advice, but seems pretty straightforward here. You got to check 2 of the 35 boxes. Well, A.G. Hilgers, A.G. Paxton of Texas, I think they've already checked 1 box for you, fraud. Number 2, wire fraud. I doubt Dahua staff is carrying millions of dollars in a suitcase and boarding airplanes and flying USA funds to China, headquarters in Hangzhou, China. Likely using a bank. There you go. Now you've got wire fraud. Extortion. Webster's defines extortion as attempting to obtain something via a threat. Well, that's what this is. That's a threat. So I posted the FCC ruling, and Dahua went after me with both barrels. They threatened to sue me out of business. My lawyer said, "My God, Gerald, who are these people? All you did was tell the truth." By the way, I left the post up. I did. I never removed it. I don't respond to intimidation. However, this is extortion. So we checked a third. In my view, anyway, this is extortion. So let's hope we check that box. And let's see. I would also like to do one more shout out to the California Attorney General. His name is Rob Bonta. Maybe you in particular, sir, should take, because Dahua, at that time, Dahua USA, headquartered in your state of California. Hikvision, headquartered in your state of California. Those two together are huge. They have very deep pockets. They have a combined market share of over 70 billion US dollars, not RMB, dollars. Your states, and if you can find them, as Paxton and Hilgers are stating in their court filings, I think California's in for a big windfall. So please, take a look at that, sir. Your state deserves it. My state of Ohio, we're already in communications with. So, let's see. I think I'll call it there because these videos get too long. I'm already over 10 minutes. That was my goal, to keep everything under 10 minutes. I missed that slightly. Please, get us justice. Lots of victims, a lot of competitors who did the right thing for years and years. Not many, I shouldn't say many. 70–80% of Dahua's former customers, they stuck it out. They just decided, hey, the stuff sells good, I'm familiar with the software, I'm not gonna leave regardless of being placed on a dreaded United States government entity list, regardless of the NDAA ban. And you would have thought the FCC ban that took effect November 2022 forward would have done them in. But no, they stuck with it. They just didn't mention that to customers. And as it turns out, see, we didn't know this. You might be asking, why am I doing this video? Because we didn't know that they were breaking the law. We didn't know that they committed fraud. And we're assuming AG Hilgers, AG Paxton is correct. That's why these videos weren't made, years ago. We just recently found out via these court filings, all of us, that it was indeed fraud. Violating the Consumer Protection Act is fraud. Violating the Deceptive Trade Practices Act, that's fraud. We didn't know that. Had we known that we lost millions of, not millions, together, we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars to fraud, oh, we would have been all over that. And you might think, well, just get financial compensation. No, that's not enough. We'll get that later. No, at this point, we're so angry over what happened. We're so angry that we want the same justice, criminal justice, that Aventura Technology and his staff received. Everybody have a great weekend. I'm Gerald. We'll talk next time.